Well, folks, it's me again, ID Jester, and we are playing some more Marvel Heroes. And we got a double whammy tonight. We got Hawkeye done up to level 60, and after I got him done, I was looking through, and Emma Frost was level 50. I thought, well, I should spend some time trying to level her up, and lo and behold, look at that. We are almost level 60 again. Oh, that almost might have put us over. We're almost there. It's a good thing, like I mentioned, that during the holidays they've got this cosmic box that drops, and it drops a lot of XP bubbles and stuff. So you need to be the right level to open them up. So I had a bunch of them from level 56 and 57, and so when she got up to level 56, it was like, just get her up to level 56. And was able to use the boxes to open them up, get her about halfway done in level 56 and level 57, and save some to get them up to level 58. And I had a few in level 59, and all the bosses are dropping them as well. So we've been having a pretty good time of it. Anyways, Emma Frost and Hawkeye. I'm glad we'll get these two done. They are like probably on the lower third of my favorite end spectrum. Just doesn't really match my playstyle. So it's very tricky to play. She does have some really cool powers, but we'll get to that in a second. But it's just a little tricky to play and how to manage her. And the big thing about Emma Frost when she first came out was that she actually, you can see this guy standing right here, she can take control of enemy monsters. You can't control robots or bosses or anything like that, but you can control other regular monsters. So that's kind of the cool thing for her. So she does play a lot differently than everybody else. You can see we actually got a few items for her here down at the bottom. We just unlocked this level 59. We've got, looks like we got a couple different artifacts down here we're going to have to get into. We do have this white fur-trimmed stole of the White Queen. So we'll have to analyze some of this after we get a chance. But we do have uniques across the board. Most of them are level 50. This is 43. All in all, not bad. I did end up getting a few extra items for her, unique items, and so I've had to switch a few out here and there. We got a cosmic ring. We have our ancient grove U-forged item there, which actually is giving her defense. Probably not the best choice, but I think, you know, I got her way when U-forged first came out, and I didn't have a lot of the artifacts and stuff. So the nice thing when you play Emma Frost is she's obviously very attractive, so it's kind of a nice playthrough as you're watching her do her maneuvers and everything. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, artifacts, we found this Midtown Patrol badge quite a while back, and it's actually done really well for us. And then we found this beta particle mini reactor, which actually, you know, it's 114 spirit, which is a lot. That's a lot. We haven't looked at the medallion for a long time. Obviously, we've been running with the hood medallion for a long time. Probably not the best thing in the world. The super soldier serum, obviously probably not the best in the world. And the crystal of Cadivus. Does give us some attack speed and gains us the spirit when you hit with the basic attack. So these are our items. We have the legendary pot of gold on her. We spammed a whole bunch of these pots of gold when they first were released. We had to get the rainbows, I believe they were, and collect 3 rainbows, and you can collect these pots of gold. So a lot of characters have these pots of gold. In fact, I've got some rainbows I just haven't made into pots of gold here. So let's look at her powers now. Okay, so she's got a lot of different things going on with her. So first thing, like I mentioned, is she's got this Psychic Domination, where she can control a minion. And bosses, robots, pets, and orange and red enemies cannot be controlled. So there you go. But you do damage enough to it it falls below 20% of its health, and you basically take control of it. And once you take control of it, it just runs around and fights with you, just like your team-up hero or your pet or anything else. But you can kind of do some other things to enhance it. You have this Inspire the Minion, where you give it some extra, causing it to taunt and physically harm nearby enemies, allowing you to fight more effectively in your service. No, didn't sound that interesting. Mental Overload, which is pretty cool. I keep going back and forth on this power, but it does do pretty good damage. You can see it does 29 to 44,000 plus 10% of the minion's health. So what a lot of you want to do is you want to get the yellow elite bosses, or not bosses, but the elite monsters, and capture them, and then run into a big pack, and then have your guy explode. It does a lot of damage, so it's not bad. Her signature power is Kneel Before Me. It is a pretty decent power. It has does some pretty good damage, 97,000, 146,000. But the best thing about this is it has a really big aura around it, and all of the enemies, including enemy bosses and everything, will just stop what they're doing and bow down before Emma Frost. So that's pretty powerful. You don't see many effects that actually affect bosses like that. This is Frenzied Confusion. This is another one of the powers we use quite a bit. Basically, we just cast it on a bunch of enemies. They start fighting one another, and you can see we've got enough points into it now that they actually do 145% damage when fighting one another, and it lasts for 5.4 seconds, so not too bad. So they're busy fighting one another, which is pretty good. The other thing about Emma is she's got this Diamond Paragon, which makes her a little bit tricky. So she switches from normal form into Diamond form, and once she's in Diamond form, you can activate these Diamond Paragon powers. If you activate a Omega Telepath or a Mental Power, which would be the Hellfire Headmistress, either one of these, then you go out of Diamond form. So it's a little tricky to manage. Do you want to spend a lot of time in Diamond form? Do you not want to spend time in Diamond form? Her only way to get around the battlefield or the map is this Lustrous Lunge, which puts her into Diamond form, and then you can use other Diamond powers, which gives her a nice, this little bar here is her Diamond Armor, which will reduce incoming damage. Makes her a little bit tougher than she seems. And then, of course, the Omega Telepath. These powers basically are just mind-zapping powers. We're using this Psy Bolt as our basic mental damage, basic attack. And our Telepathic Torment, which is...
Do I look like someone who enjoys waiting?
Yeah, she's got an attitude, too. Which is like a little aura, little area of effect. It does, you know, it does some pretty good damage there. And it does have a nice passive power there. It gives her extra mental damage rating there. And, of course, her Unlocked Potential, which is another area of effect. But makes you and your allies invisible for 5 seconds. It gives you a slight better damage rating. Your allies can't be made invisible again for 30 seconds. So you can see I've actually went through, there's 2 different slots down here. And I focused on the first thing on some powers, decided what I did like, what I didn't like, switched over to number 2. I'm still not sure that this is maybe the best setup, but anyways, let's get her up to level 60, shall we? I'm really, so you can see now she's in Diamond form. You can actually see that. And there's...
You know what invulnerable means?
So we'll do the kneel down before me, and you can watch all the bosses stop what they're doing. You see them all kneel down in front of me. Take some nice damage there. and we'll activate our paragon, or our signature power here. You can see these huge monsters. I guess they're like our, supposed to represent like our worst nightmares, psychic enemies. And there it is, level 60. Here's some more of these chests we were talking about. You can see quite a bit of chests running around. Well, we got our monsters out. Let's see if they'll... Can they come this way? Will they follow me? Hello, guys. Oh, they ran out of attack. So the chests, you can see how many bubbles they leave behind, and some special other items, occasionally an artifact and stuff. And you can just see by the bottom, you know, went up about 5, 6, 7%, 8%. And get out of the way, dude. And I got a unique for any hero, so I'm gonna have to clean out my inventory after this. You can see if you have 4 bosses, you get all the boxes. We went from about maybe 8% up to 23%. So we got, you know, maybe a bonus of maybe 15-20% right towards the next level just by defeating these bosses. And so yeah, it's been very helpful leveling these characters up during the holiday weekend, Thanksgiving weekends, and it's been a little bit easier than normal to get the higher level guys up. So that's why I was working on getting some of these level 50s and higher's up. I've got one other level 50, and I've mentioned this before. I think the only other level 50 we have is Cable, which is level 52. We got a bunch of 40s. We need to start getting our 40s up to the 50 mark. But all of our 50s are now made it up to level 60 except for Cable. And I don't think I'm going to do Cable until he's been redone. His powers are so bad. It's just not any fun to play, and so he's never been redone with the level 52 stuff. So hopefully they're supposed to be doing him I think January, so in a couple months. So I might just spend some time working on the other characters. Speaking of which, so here's our little telepathic torment. We'll try and show you that here. We'll find a nice group of enemies. Here's a group of enemies. Oh, that's not it. Here we go. Has my finger on the wrong button. Start just doing little aura around them and basically damaging them. And I like to use that power in conjunction with the Frenzied Confusion. And let's find another group of enemies and see if we can watch them fight one another here. We'll kill that guy too quickly. Won't be able to show you much on that. And we need to find a nice group of enemies. So this is the only way she gets around. Is this little lunge forward. So she doesn't fly. She doesn't do anything crazy like that. All right. So watch these spiders now. And these spiders, they should start fighting one another. You see them over here fighting one another and doing damage to one another. And I kind of just spam both the telepathic torment and frenzied confusion back and forth. So I do a little bit of damage, and I also make them fight one another. Do a little bit of damage, make them fight one another. So you will notice when we look at our stats and stuff here. Now it's time for another signature power. So you'll see they'll all stop what they're doing and kneel before me. And now we're going to have our guy get over there, explode them. See? We just exploded them. There's only one enemy there, so it's kind of hard to see, but he took that enemy out. Probably won't be able to make it up to these bosses in time, so we won't even worry about it. Good thing about her powers are basically her powers regen really, really fastly. You can see it's only got a 20-second cooldown for her signature power, which is a lot less than a lot of the other ones. You know, a lot of the other ones are 30 seconds or 45 seconds. Hers comes back in just 20 seconds, so you can see I can spam that pretty good. It does a lot of damage, so that's kind of one of her saving graces. She doesn't do a lot of damage. In fact, I could sit here and just shoot at somebody for forever and never do much damage. So what I would like to do, I'll show you my modus operandi here is, now let's see if we can find this. Here's a blue guy. Alright. So we'll try to take control of this guy, which, did we? No, we killed him. See if we can find this nice yellow,
How ordinary.
there's the yellow guy. Alright, so Winston here. We're going to take control of Winston. There, we got him. Control of him. You see he'll run around now. As I have him and he gets over here in the fight, I just explode him. And that didn't work as well. I think Winston was too damaged. But normally, if I can get it... Alright, let's see, let's try this again here. Alright, Sky Commander, where's Sky Commander? We got him. Alright, he's under our control. It doesn't take very long to get him under control. Now, Sky Commander, come over here. There you go, keep going. Now, blow him up. Oh, see that? Nice, nicely done. So now what I'll do is I'll try and take over one of these guys here. Come on, take him over, take him over, take him over, take him over. Oh, no. Come on, right there. Come on, take him over. Yep, I've got him. And now we'll see if he'll come over here. There he is. And
Are you listening to me?
oh, it didn't quite explode very well there. But that's kind of what I do. Take one of the enemies, use him as a basically a time bomb against the other enemies. And does lots of damage. And depending on what enemy you can get, let's see here. I think I got him. I did. Alright, now explode. Oh, there wasn't anybody around to kill. I killed them all too fast. Oh well. So she does play a lot different than a lot of the other characters. You can basically take control of somebody. You just have another ally running around with you, which is obviously a viable option. If you never wanted to explode them, mental overload them, and basically do lots of damage with them, you don't have to. And you can see that her Grand Nightmare is that power that brings out the illusions of horrific monsters. So it does lots of damage. Lizard, a spider, some kind of robot, and a beast come out, and they just start tearing things up. And they're pretty good. So that's a pretty good look at Emma here. Let's look at our final stats here. Durability 7, Strength 5, Fighting 4, Speed 3, Energy 6, Intelligence 5. She's actually got higher stats than I would assume. These are some pretty good stats actually. Now we just have to min-max her a little bit. Maybe look for a better ring for her, update her medallion, update her artifacts. She does have 237 relics, so that's pretty good. It actually does some pretty good 237 health and deals 308 mental damage when you get hit, so I thought that was a good combo for her. As far as our Cosmic Core, we actually got a pretty good one. And we got special item find, we got some health regen, we got +1 in fighting, and we got visual glowing particles. You can see the little particles. They're really hard to see when you're zoomed out and you're moving around and everything, but you can kind of see them a little bit. This Cyclops fella that keeps following us around, I think this is a part of one of our items or something. Yeah, there it is. Gain a permanent Scott Summers ally under your control. So obviously, very nice. So we got our team up hero, and then we got I think it's a Cyclops. Yeah, it's a Cyclops. Scott Summers. It follows us around because he's in love with Emma Frost, I guess. I don't know. Look at that damage, 790. It's horrible. You would think you'd be able to make a better character than 790, but I think, you know, like I said, I've messed around with different ways to create her powers, and You know, I focused a little bit on the Diamond Paragon where she was leaping forward and punching people in the face, because it does do pretty good damage. And then kind of dominating an enemy, and then just a couple, well, actually one point in the overload. So I wasn't usually blowing them up. I was just having her try to control somebody that was pretty good, and then use her Diamond Paragon powers and her basically her Cybolt Blast. You can see nothing does a lot of damage, but like I said, the kind of her saving grace is the fact that, number one, all of her powers regenerate really fast. 20-second cooldown is signature. I think that's probably about the lowest I've seen. So you can spam that pretty good. And you can see at level 60 here, we can get it up to 120 to 181,000 every 20 seconds. That's pretty reasonable, actually. So even though her damage says 790, that's just her base power damage. But when you're controlling another character or another monster, when you're using them to blow it up and stuff, you're doing a lot more damage than that. Defensively, she's not even very high, 7,424, which is not that high either. But again, I have not spent a lot of time min-maxing her. I'm just getting her up to level 60 now, and what I'll do is, after the episode or next time before we go to play these level 60s, we'll spend some time trying to get them some new items and stuff. Speaking of which, we are looking at our currencies. We have 995 Eternity Splitters. We got 5 more to go, and we'll get us another brand new hero. We got 570 Odin Marks, which is pretty good because we've made a hell of a comeback. We just spent 300 on... who was it? It was Star-Lord the other day. We bought him a brand new one when we started him at level 1. And we got him a brand new legendary. It cost us 300 Odin Marks. Took us down in I think in the 200s. So we've made a hell of a comeback in getting some of these guys. And the Cosmic World Stones were up to 729. So getting some more of these guys so we can turn news in. Get us another, I think there's an artifact that we want to. In fact, let's go take a look at that really quickly for those of you at home that are interested in seeing this.
Spider-Man has your back.
So a couple of the things you can get is, where is it?
You
No,
know
not
Howland
you.
Commando,
Over here.
but maybe you'll do.
Refresh. So we've already got a couple of the cosmic dupes. It costs 2,000. I don't think there's any way we're going to get back up to 2,000. So what I'm looking at doing is getting this legendary item. So we need a character that hits with a psychic or energy power and mental. So kind of a combo character. Somebody that does psychic, energy, and mental, because you can see rank 2 there, rank 3, rank 4, all kind of have the same little thing going on there. When you hit with a mental or energy power, you gain physical damage rating. If you hit with a physical or mental power, you gain energy damage rating. So you want to zap them with energy, and then mental, and then mental, and then energy, then physical, or mental and physical. So it's only 750, so we are just about 30 short, which will take us about 20 minutes to get enough to get up there with all these chests that are dropped. In fact, we have 1, 2, 3 chests in our inventory. We could probably get another 10 to 15 out of those chests, I would think. There is also this artifact, which is kind of interesting. When you hit with an energy power, you gain Dupe Daring, granting you base damage versus bosses for 10 seconds. When you hit with the mental power, you gain Dupe Determination, granting you damage rating for 10 seconds. When you hit with a physical power, you gain Dupe Dexterity, gaining a dodge rating. So that might be worth saving. We could try to get to 750 and see if we can work our way up and get it to 500, and then we'd have a little combo action there. Anyways, so we're almost getting to the new hero, and we're almost got enough to buy us some more items there in the store. But yeah, between Hawkeye and Emma Frost, I'm really glad to get these two done and out of the way. Like I mentioned, they're probably for ranged character, Hawkeye was probably just not as fun for me as some of the other ranged characters. Just kind of generic, nothing special about them. Emma was a little difficult to manage. She's a lot of work, clicking a lot of buttons and trying to take over people and use her different powers to torment them or have them fight one another. And you, I mean, have to click on them 100 times to use your Cybolt to kill something. Fortunately, like I said, you got a couple big powers that come back pretty regularly, and of course your signature power is pretty neat. It has a really nice graphical effect, and not too bad, but just see, awful lot of work for a character that's really wimpy. And I mean, she's really wimpy, but all in all, with all of her bonuses and all her allies and everything, she's actually pretty tough little character. She does some pretty good damage. I hardly ever lost any health. I think I got run over by Rhino once or twice, or got defeated just a couple times. I don't know if it actually tells you in there. If it tells you how many times you've been defeated. So she's actually pretty tough, and her stats I think lie basically. Because I know she's a lot better than 790 and 7,424. So she's work. She's pretty hard to get it done. But
I see cloudy
I'm
skies
just glad to
ahead
get
for
her done
Sunday.
and get her out of the way. So we will be looking at another hero next time here in Marvel Heroes. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to leave your thoughts, comments, suggestions below, and we'll see you guys next time.